Hello and welcome to another episode of Satisfactory. Last episode we decided to go ahead and make our system more efficient and create a new home for our fun bouncing friend. We are now producing about 20 plates per minute, 120 screws per minute, I believe 30 rods per minute, and about 15 concrete per minute, I think it is. Of course we can upscale this in the future, but to do that we either need to find better ore nodes, or we can start putting in some power shards into our miners to increase their efficiency, which that's what we're going to be focusing on today. In between episodes I also went ahead and did the same efficiency system for our copper. We have 30 ore per minute coming out of the miner, going and producing 30 bars per minute, which will produce 15 wire per minute. Each, so 30 in total. And it's also now finally going into a storage unit, which allows us to properly collect. So this episode, what I want to do is use our resource finder here, object scanner here, and we're gonna be looking for some power slugs, and then we're probably gonna try to finish the part assembly milestone as well. So we already have a hit. Which, by the way, last episode I thought that the slug was in the rock under somewhere. It's right there on that tree. It happens. It really does. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that guy. Yoink! There's a friend. And I'm stuck. Hello? Okay. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave you alone. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and start doing a bit of a montage as I go ahead and collect. Also, I have access to the map now. I completely forgot about that. So if you're wondering, this slug is about here on the map. Alright. So we come back to this one over here, which, by the way, is located here on the map. Before we couldn't get up there because we really had no way to, but now we have access to ramps. So what we can do is just kind of set up a little ramp out there and have the zoop mode on. And just bring that, apparently not all the way down because I do not have enough concrete. Should have brought that with me. But we're able to grab some from here. Alrighty, now we've finished our little ramp. And jump on up there. And finally grab our slug. Which have ugly faces, by the way. Alright, so our next slug, located around here on this little rock, is surrounded by deadly gas. Now, normally you would wait until you get a gas mask, but my plan is to just be really quick. We have basically full health. We'll be fine. Ow. 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 Yoink! And we're out. See? No harm, no foul. Here's our next slug. About right here. Just north of where we collected our yellow one. And if you look, you have one here. And you got another one just right up there. We're gonna go quickly make our way over there as well. Are these normal or impure? I remember running past these. Oh, these are normal. Maybe moving our operation over here ain't such a bad idea. We'll look into that. First things first, though. I gotta get up there. I think if I run around over here, I can get up there. Okay, I made it up here. I was about to say slight issue, but, well, they just threw themselves off the ledge. So, there we go. Got ourselves another power slug. And possibly a new location to build a base. It's not too far. As you can see, our base is just over there. And we have one over here. What we can do is keep our old base over there and start setting up something new over here, eventually, for more higher tier iron productions. Things that require a lot of iron to produce, such as eventually, metal frames, reinforced iron plates require a good bit of iron, etc., etc. Alrighty, so pretty much just spitting distance away from where we gathered our last slug. About here on the map is our next power slug. Alright, and guarded by a good old spitter here is, I think, going to be our last slug, for right now at least. If you're curious, located right here in this valley. And we're going to make our way out of here. So, what we're going to do next is probably go ahead and get that milestone up in the top right, part assembly complete. And I think maybe we're going to just set up a temporary manually fed assembler to start getting us some reinforced iron plates, which are iron plates mixed with screws, to start getting our research for the milestone for the MK2 conveyor belts started. Alrighty, so we're going to come up here to our crafting bench, and we're going to click on power shard. We're just going to let that craft up. Oh, actually, I almost just made a mistake. We need to save at least one of our yellow slugs because we have not researched the yellow power shards, which I think would have been fine anyway, so I don't think we would have been able to actually turn them into anything. But just in case, let's throw our yellow power slugs in here. We'll grab that out and throw you in there. And we'll turn the rest of our blue slugs into power shards. We're gonna have to get some rotors made to do that bit of research. But we have 8 power shards now. And what we're gonna do is, I'm thinking upscale a bit of our production here. Actually, I don't really need to be upscaled. Not yet, at least. 100, 200, 500, and I can manually make our cable, which I'm gonna do real quick. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and submit all of this, and smack that button.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
Alrighty, so we've gotten ourselves an assembler, learned how to make, right? And assemblers are mostly going to be used to making, I think, from my experience, like 2 main parts, and that's rotors and reinforced iron plates. That's what your assemblers are going to be used at least a lot in the early game. And hold on real quick, let's just... we are missing screws. We need more screws. We're going to go ahead and get enough of those iron, reinforced iron plates for this assembler. So as I said, this is going to be kind of manually fed, just for now. We're going to throw in a bunch of, 200 plates, 500 screws, just let that go. And begin producing some stuff for us. I think we're going to throw it... we'll just throw it back here. So you have 2 inputs, 1 output, just like that. Right, we're going to say reinforced iron plates. So we're going to take 500 screws and 200 plates. We're just going to throw those in there and plug this in. It's 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4. Here we go. That works. And I am going to go refill my biomass burners. Alright, so with that, our assembler is good to go. It is producing about 5 reinforced iron plates per minute, and we're going to need about 50 of them, so we're going to have to let this go for about 10 minutes. We're producing 5 per minute with a recipe of 6 and 12. We need 50, which is 10, so 60, 120, which we have enough of both to produce the 50 we need at least. We'll with that, I think we are going to go ahead and fill up the rest, or as much as we can, of this milestone. Oh, I'm getting absolutely turned around. Are you there? Oh. The pod hasn't even returned yet. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. So, in the meantime, I think let's start thinking about maybe setting up another base of operations over by the normal amount? The normal nodes of iron? We can also utilize more of these impure ones that we have over here. Impure. Which are producing 30 each, so those 3 over here are going to be producing 94, right? If we use 2 in each, that's 6 shards to get them up to 200%. That's going to be 6 to 180 ore each. 60 would mean that we can double our rods, double our plates, and double our screws. Though I don't think we really need to double the screws. 120 screws per minute is plenty, at least for the beginning of the game. But doubling up the plates and the rods may actually be a good idea, at least. Maybe rods not so much, but definitely plates. Only just 'cause plates are used mostly in construction and also in producing our, what are they called, conveyor belts. So I think what I'm going to do is, while I'm letting those resistors build up and our reinforced plates getting built, I'm 100% not about to go to Best Buy and go pick up my Splatoon 3 copy, but am going to 100% double up our iron plate production. The plan for doing that is pretty much right. It's just 1 smelter to 1 constructor. So what we're going to do is just have 2 smelters, 2 constructors, and they're going to merge together into 1 output. So I'm going to figure that out and be right back. Alrighty. So I totally did not just go to Best Buy and get Splatoon 3 and also have to do a senior design project meeting. But I am back to this, and in the meantime, I've been thinking about it, and actually I have a new plan, right? It's a plan not really new, but one that I discussed before, and that's just kind of moving the base over, I believe, over to that direction, where we found those couple of normal nodes, which will allow for kind of better production for iron and stuff like that, and pretty much just rebuilding what we have here, but just a bit expanded. So what I'm going to do is grab a bunch of materials and bring them on over there and get a good foundation set up for all of that. I believe we had 2 normal nodes there, which is 30 and 30, or 60 and 60 each, which would be 120, and then we can overclock those and increase their output. So what I'm going to do is start dismantling some of the stuff we have here. Alrighty, so we're over here in the new location, and I just want to show off something that you can do. When you're putting foundations on, you can actually put them over an ore deposit, like so, as long as they're not too high off the ground. I like to use 2 meters or 4 meter that's kind of sunken in the ground, and you can put your drill like right on top of it, and it kind of snaps to your foundation grid. It's really useful if you want to have kind of straighter conveyor belts directly from your miners to your refineries and such. So we're going to just repeat the same here. And we're going to put in another miner. And we'll have this one face over to the left. They're not going to be completely straight onto your foundations just because the way the ore deposits work. They may not perfectly line up. And by the way, all these foundations are set up to the global grid. So what I'm going to real quickly do is begin working on pretty much the same setup we had before, just expanded outwards, because now we're going to be producing 60 per minute. So we're basically going to be building what we built before, just doubled. Alrighty, so while we're doing this, this is for the iron rods, right? Side, right? So we have 60 ore coming in, each going into 2 smelters, 30 and 30 for 60 iron bars, and then 15 per constructor. So we need 4 constructors because 15 times 4 is 60. When you're splitting amongst a lot of constructors like this, what I like to do is have all your input merge into one side like this, and then go immediately into a splitter, and then it splits down a straight line like this, right? So we have a splitter that'll have 60 coming here, so then originally, right, 30 will go into here, 30 will go over here, 15, 15, and then this will get slowly less and less. At first, it's going to be really slow in filling your machines, and they won't be 100%, but as long, eventually when your machines fill up with enough iron bars, 100, 100, 100, it'll be 100% efficiency on the things traveling down the conveyor belt. This is compared, you could technically evenly try to split things up, right? So you can have 60, go into 30, and then split it up again and go 15, 15, have the other one go 15, 15. But then you have like a long line of mergers and splitters, and it gets a little complex. This one's a little worse. This one's just a little slow in startup, but it ends up working in the end. And for merging, it's the same idea, right? So you just go to logistics, go to conveyor merger, and you just have them travel down, right, a line until you get to the very end, and then you can have it output whichever direction you'd like. Alrighty, so we've pretty much built up what I would like as an output. So before we only had 30 rods per minute being produced. We're now going to be producing 60 using these first 4 constructors. These 2 constructors are going to be producing us 40 plates per minute, iron plates, and then we're keeping the screws the same. So we have, this is going to output 60 ore per minute. That's going to go into a splitter that you can split half of it, or 30 of it, going into this this smelter, and the other 30 can go wherever the heck you want it to. But yeah, 30, and then it's going to go 30 and 30, or 15 and 15, make 30 rods, 120 screws, and that's going to output over here into this container. And then our other 2 containers over here. So it's the same idea, and in between episodes I'll go ahead and redo the limestone, and our copper is going to be up there. Now if anyone wants to know where on the map this is about right here on the map. This little lake is up here, and there's about, I think, a valley up here. So this will be good for us. It's going to double our output. I'm currently collecting a bit of iron ore so I can make some more bioreactors to power everything, but I'm hoping to finish this episode with finishing up Logistics Mark II. So with that, our factory is now back up and running. We are now outputting a very high amount of rods and plates, and same amount of screws as before. Up in the top right, our Logistics Mark II is almost complete, but sadly I am out of time. In between episodes, I'm going to finish up, like I said, the concrete over there, and if we scan for copper, we'll see that there is an ore deposit just, yep, right there, which we're gonna go do copper. And what I'm probably gonna do is set up the miner and bring the ore down here where we are, and then set up just a little bit of the wiring and cable as we had done before. But with that, that's going to be today's episode, and I am glad that y'all watched it, and I hope to see y'all in future episodes. Alright, bye-bye.